Just to reconfirm, I saved the ice people. Let's go check out the spaceport. The Andornis bows to you when you arrive. You have chosen a good home for us. She has a small wooden box with inlaid runes that looks very similar to the one you saw at Midgard. She opens the box to reveal a blue glowing stone with a single rune inscribed on it. We call these Tears of Skade. We found a few of them buried around the Goddess Stone in Nefel. They are always cold and may be useful in a warm ship. She hands you the box. You honor me, thank you. No, it is you who honor us. We will not forget this. Now, I told you when we meet I would answer a question. What would you like to know? Let's see here. Who are the elves? Elves is broad term. Many creatures over long ages have been called elves. But here in Deep, I believe there are two kinds. First, there are Alfar, known by many. They were the ones who transported us here from Earth. I do not know why they did this, but I do know that it was not out of kindness. They are devious, and they are opaque. The Andornis lowers their voice and leans in. But there is another kind of elf here. The Hidul folk, the hidden. They serve makers of godstones. They are rare, mostly dormant, and I do not think even Alfar are aware of them. They cannot be trusted, for no alien can be, but they are not devious. Each hidden is different, but all connected into a natural world. When Skadanga were new upon Nefel, we had some small dealings with them before they returned to the sleep of eons. That is enough whispering of old secrets. She straightens up and smooths her dress. I have much to do, and I imagine so do you. Take care, Aaron. May Skade protect you. The leader of the Skadanga returns to her people on the windswept hills of the small, picturesque town of that place. With the conversation concluded, you wander back toward your ship as the sun sets. You hear the hustle and bustle all around you of eager people pursuing a new and exciting life. The promise of a new beginning is almost as intoxicating as the faint hint of sea salt in the cool breeze that ruffles your clothes. You wonder if you're forgetting anything, if you should find Hijlad and speak with her, but she is nowhere in sight, and you realize there will be time to see her again. You climb aboard your ship and leave these people to their new home, and you wonder, in all the bright stars and warm worlds, where might your home be? Well, obviously, it's going to be on that thing that the real estate agent said, right? Yeah, totally. So this little trinket thing that I got here. Tear of Skade. Oh, look at that! I got some cooling. That's interesting. See, you got another little, I got a Tear of Skade. I got a Tear, that's, you know. Got a Tear of Skade here. It's another unique thing. Just collecting the unique things. And it's got some cooling. I was wondering how they were going to, like, tie that in. All right, now the tension turns to the Emerald Sword quest. This is still happening. How are there pirates here? Alright, let's land here, refuel. Alright, let's go down here. And let's go investigate some, like, dragon people. Come on, here we go. This is it. Let me get out of here. You land your ship on the lava flow, and Albert Foster fires up his surveying equipment. This will show me a density profile of different layers of rock beneath us, he says. As he gradually dials the instruments down to deeper and deeper layers, a few irregular white spots appear on the screen. What are those? Air pockets, he says, some of them filled in with groundwater, nothing out of the ordinary. When the scan reaches about 30 meters below the surface, suddenly the view changes. Oh, well, look at this. Great burning suns, says Foster. There is something down there. Roads in a triangular grid. That ain't no human city. You both stare at the monitor for a minute, and then Foster says, I'm going to need to pull some permits. Meet me in the spaceport in an hour if you're willing to help pick up some of the other stuff we'll need. Oh, I am willing to help out. Boom. When you meet up with Foster, he tells you, this is going to be tricky. We're going to have to dig through 20 meters thick slab of solid basalt to get at those ruins. We have to work fast, or my competitors will catch wind of what we're doing and beat us to the punch. But we have to work delicately, too, or we'll damage what's underneath. Blasting won't work. I think some of the Syndicate's strip mining equipment could do the job, though. Would you be able to pick up maybe 20 or 30 tons of heavy machinery from Crossroads? I guess I have to. I mean, right? I have to. We're going to excavate something, I think, right? That's what we're doing. Crossroads. What's wrong with me? I can't, like, for some reason, I'm like, speech is not working that well. I don't know why. But we're on the Emerald Sword quest. We finally got the Emerald Sword quest going. I don't think the ship is that good either. But you know what? It's a unique ship, and I collect unique stuff in this game. Okay. Gotta watch the cash reserves here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sure. You know what? You can kill that. Yeah, that's right. You died. A pirate shouldn't even, you know, try to attack any of my ships. It's crazy. When you arrive at Crossroads, the excavation machines requested by Albert Foster are already waiting for you at the spaceport. They are some of the largest terrestrial vehicles you've ever seen. A truck with enormous tooth grinding wheels for cutting through stone. A front-end loader for carrying the loose stone away. You are barely able to fit them through the entrance of your cargo bay. Doubtful. You see, I have a world ship. Like, oh wait, hold on. Let's load that back up. I want to see what's at the outfitter and if there's anything interesting in Syndicate space. Let's see. I don't see anything that interesting. Right. No, kill them. Kill that one too. Just kill everybody. Kill everybody. Over here. Hurry up and kill them. Or don't. You missed. We'll land here. We'll refuel. Oh, somebody actually like mining? I hear some firing. Yep, somebody's mining with a mining laser. Alright, let's go deliver this equipment and get this party started. Start digging up. Serious. You drop off the excavation machines at the dig site on Zug and receive your payment of 300,000 credits. Foster has already marked out lines of where he wants to dig and has completed a much more detailed geological scan. We'll be starting with a narrow trench, he tells you, and expanding out from there. It'll need to be wide enough to include a ramp for the vehicles, of course, so we'll still need to move a lot of rock. And when we get within the last 5 meters or so, I'm worried the vibration from the grinders may be too destructive. So I need some laser excavation equipment from Asgard next. Oh my god. You agree to fetch the equipment. He begins directing the work crews to get the digging started. Great. More and more stuff. Asgard is all the way up there. Just go and shuttling stuff back and forth, but these missions are actually being completed, and then we're closer and closer to the Emerald Sword. I'm not checking the spaceport right now. At all. So, no thanks. Getting the Emerald Sword going. So if I remember correctly, reading the actual patch notes, there were, the update actually focused on human space, and I think there's new human job board missions and stuff too. Those systems that I took over, those new pirate systems were added as well. I mean, I'm just going to take over pirate systems because that's what I do. I take over pirate systems. Once again, the equipment that Foster needs is waiting for you when you land. It's a truck carrying a power generator and an articulating arm with a laser cannon mounted on the end. You can't help imagining what would happen if it malfunctioned and began firing while inside your cargo bay, but the engineer who delivers it assures you that it has many redundant safeties in place. Also waiting for you is an encrypted message from Foster. Hi there, Aaron. I've been told that one of my competitors, Sybil Greythatch, has been asking around trying to figure out where my dig site is. She's an antiquities thief, robs archaeological sites and sells the artifacts on the black market. I think my equipment purchase on Asgard may have caught her attention. If so, her ship, the lor'kas, will be following you. Don't return to the dig site until you're certain you've shaken her off. No problem, because I doubt that they have a... Oh, look at that. Trust me, I'm going to shake her off because... I have a jump drive, and this person does not. I've already shaken her off. Already have shaken her off. It's really easy to shake someone off when you have a jump drive. So we'll refuel here. Why are those people so slow? Why are they in Gomesia? Why are they taking so long to come here? Watch, is this person going to catch up with me? I mean, I doubt it. I don't even see him anyway. Here we go. Refuel right here. Boom. Yeah, they're not even here. No problem. Here we go. Yeah, can't even catch up with me. Not a problem. Yeah, we did it. Nobody's even here. When you return to the digs, when you return to the dig, Foster's trench is already almost 10 meters deep. You tell him you saw that ship on your scanners, but you were able to evade it. Good job, he says. Now we need a xenobiologist who can help us make sense of what we find. A friend of mine, Amelia Lee, has been living on the Quarg ring world for the last decade or so, and she agreed to come visit the dig. And also, to see what the Quarg can tell us about this old alien civilization. Also, here's your pay for transporting the laser cutter. He hands you another 300,000 credits. You agree to pick her up and blah, 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 blah. Oh, I wonder, I think something was added about, oh, are you serious? Is that like better than this? Barely. Now we're going to go here. Here, look, I'm going to wait for all my ships to get ready. We're all ready to go. So all these should happen at the same time. Okay. All right. Let's go to here. Lagrange, here we go. Oh, wait. I thought it said on the ring world. Oh, whatever. Oh, here we go. This is what I thought was added too. You've joined the Lunarium in Coalition space and even served as a messenger to bring the Quark some information about the Lunarium itself, in hopes that they might provide some help. Would you like to ask the Quarg for their side of the story in light of what you learned from the Lunarium and from your visit to the Quarg with Ubat? Yes. You're never quite sure who to speak with when it comes to the Quarg, but this time you're drawn to one that easily stands out. You judge it to be an older member of their species. Its thin scales covers its fingers, and the more bony parts of its head have turned to a bright silvery shade. Unlike most Quarg you've seen, it is wearing a pale, faded white robe with patches of red-colored chains that somehow perfectly transition to fabric again, becoming more and more prominent closer to the top, culminating in a firm, crisp, crimson hood covering its head. Most surprising of all for a Quarg, however, its large scar taking up much of its left side of its face, completely covering where its left eye should be. It is completely static, with a lost gaze focused on the ceiling until you approach it. It doesn't squat down to meet you at your eye level. It says nothing, simply gazing at you with one eye colored in a bright gold. Hello, I'm Aaron Schatz. Can tell me about the Coalition. Oh my goodness. It continues to stare at you for a while, without as much as blinking. It looks over to a bench in one of the quieter areas of spaceport and gestures for you to follow. As you two sit down, you notice it pauses mid-breath. After a few seconds of adjusting itself in the seat, the Quark finally speaks up. Those three species arose in a relative rapid succession, all in close proximity compared to how other species tend to be separated by long periods of time, and longer still their distances. Its voice, while still sharing the buzzing, deep hums you've grown to expect from the Quark, is broken up every other word by something like a crack or a creak, as if certain vocal cords have grown sore with an uncomfortable sound akin to an out-of-tune cello mixing its way into the Quarg's words. Hold on. So large are the gaps that one might never learn of those came before. But this was not the case for the three. The first of them, the Sarids, were in many ways much like us, the Quarg, in our younger days, and we perhaps were much too lenient because of that. It stops and brings one hand over its head, and then the other, closing its eye as if in a sudden headache. Your eyes almost instinctively goes to its scales, expecting them to change color like all the other Quargs you've seen. But the colors remain unaltered, the same pale gray and silver shades. A few seconds pass and it brings down its hands back to its lap. Opening its eyes, it continues. The Kimmick, traumatized by the billions fallen in their families, sought help to make sure they would never face such a crisis again, and were eager to establish friendly relations with the Sarids. The Iraqi, in a way, parallel humanity's development, though they were less keen on letting their inner conflicts be made public. They were the last of the three, and upon meeting their two seniors, invested heavily in research to catch up. It pauses again, taking a look around the spaceport. It fixates on you for a bit, then on the ships landing and departing here. In the intersecting point of their territories, we built our ring worlds 7,000 Earth years ago. The three species of the Coalition sought to take over those rings. After centuries, no, a millennia of fighting, we left that part of the galaxy. Why did they decide to start attacking you in your rings? How come you lost? There we go. Whatever reasons they had, whatever drove them to attack us, we cannot quite comprehend. No. It stops, not sighing or showing much emotion. Its scales still showing no signs of changing. It looks at the ceiling again, then back at you. No. You are tired of hearing the same story from us Quarg, are you not? That the foolish and young species warred for no good reason. It pauses again, contemplating its words. That war was not the first instance where we lost a ring of ours, but never did any of us wish for any ring to be lost in the first place. With 3 rings there, with a living space for over 3 trillion Quarg being constructed, we got awfully protective of that region, in order to prevent outside interference from causing us trouble again. Our relations with the Kimmick and Iraqi were a far cry from initial success and amicability we enjoyed with the Sarids, and when an Iraq ship first showed signs of technology that repaired its hull planing in mid-flight, an achievement even the Sarids were yet to make, we jumped to conclusions. Uh-oh. What do you mean? It slowly turns its head over to face you, with its eyes gazing unto our own. An uncomfortable minute passed at a snail's pace as you seem to struggle, keeping eye contact with the Quarg, while at the same time finding it difficult to look elsewhere. We had gone there to protect the 3 species, to guide them, to observe them. We failed the latter, losing track of wisdom and reason in favor of fearing past shames. In that, our guidance became compromised, for they trusted us no longer. We were no longer seen as protectors, but as those that they had to protect from themselves. So you're more advanced. Why'd you lose? Are we so horribly powerful indeed, or is our might merely a consequence of being elders in this galaxy littered with the premature deaths of other species, it asks. No, forgive me. I did not answer your question. We, many of our younger ones and veterans alike, vowed to never allow another ring to be lost. We do not kill for a sport, but it has become as natural for a Quarg to defend a ring as it would be for a human to defend their family. By the billions, defenders arose, ignoring our ways of peace, what social customs we were expected to follow, and what you may call orders. After a few centuries, those that tolerated or were forced to tolerate the request for a ceasefire... After a few centuries, those that tolerated or were forced to tolerate the request for a ceasefire were evacuated from the rings, and then it was only a matter before those of us that remained... It was only a matter of time before those of us that remained were overrun by the coalition. It once again starts looking at the ceiling, remaining like that for a minute or so. It then turns to you, facing in. I am aware that you brought one from the coalition to us for a conversation, one belonging to a group that seeks to overthrow the Heliarchs. Do be careful, human. They might not be as technologically advanced as us Quarg, but they are still very strong and duty-bound unlike most others. You and your allies are bound to face tremendous hardship if you are to oppose them. Will the Quarg help us fight? We agreed to that conversation, that interview of yours. Beyond that, we cannot help much without provoking more, I fear. We seek not to strike fear in the hearts of those of the coalition. We never did. It would burden your cause to have us take part in the fighting. Any tips on how to fight them? Don't be arrogant. Don't underestimate them. Do not take victory for granted, no matter how concerned they may seem, lest you shall be concerned yourself. You get up and are just about to leave when it says, Aaron Schatz. The Quarg's gaze pierces you. Its eyes are the same level as you. Where is your home? Oh, here we go. My ship is my home. After staring you down for a few seconds, it fixates upon the ceiling again. I suppose others such as you may imagine their own lives in our ring worlds as similar to your own within a ship or a simple space station. It pauses again for nearly a minute this time. Considering the circumstances, that may be a reasonable conclusion on your part. It faces you again and asks, have you any more questions for me, Captain? Who are you? I am called Gol Sally Ment Rick Laz, an old Quarg, too old for my own good. You thank it for its time and see it get up to leave. As soon as it steps away from the bench, you notice a dozen heavily armed Quarg begin to follow it, some coming from the sides of the bench, others seemingly having materialized from the very walls and flooring. They follow Gol in a machine-like formation and never so much as acknowledging you. When you last glance at it before entering your ship again, you see the distant reflection of Gol's eyes glancing at you from a distance before being followed by an armor-clad Quarg deeper into the station. Oh my gosh, that was some trip. Let's finish this little thing from Amelia Lee meets you at the spaceport along with the Quarg, who is a bit shorter than normal, but still tall enough to tower over you. Captain Schatz, she says, let me introduce you to my friend Yarthus Amorthi Dick Farsuk Nai. Yarthus will be accompanying us to the dig site. No problem. Welcome aboard. As both of them board your ship, Amelia chats enthusiastically with you. One ring world can sustain population in excess of 1 trillion, she says, so the Quarg need long names in order to unambiguously identify themselves. She goes on to ask questions about the progress of the dig, using so much technical jargon that at times it almost sounds like she is speaking a Quarg language rather than your own. Clearly, she is very knowledgeable about the study of alien societies, and you are surprised to learn that she was actually born in high space, as the granddaughter of some of the first humans who settled there. Well, we learned a little bit about the Quarg and the Coalition again. I think that was something new in the patch that I read, so that was nice that we actually had to do a detour to stop there and ask. We are deep in the Emerald Sword quest to actually get that ship, get the special ship, and I heard it's not that good, but you know what? We're in. We're doing this. Hit that subscribe button. By the way, loved your feedback. All the comments I read, I try to respond to, and it's just really, really fun to read everyone's comments, so please leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.